Hello everyone, today we're going to paint Arabian jasmine buds together. Let's start step by step with a sketch. First, draw simple basic circles to mark the locations of the flowers and establish the overall composition. Varying the sizes of the blooms makes the arrangement look much more natural. Next, draw a small circle in the center of each flower to set the focal point where the petals meet. Since the blooms are facing outward, these inner centers will sit slightly toward the outer edge. Let's focus on this side-facing bloom first. It helps to think of a beach ball structure when sketching these rounded guidelines, just like this. The same principle applies to the other flowers as well. Let me explain using the completed sketch. If you draw lines following the pointed tips of the petals, you'll see this shape emerge. It applies right here and here as well. The center lines maintain that beach ball structure while adjusting slightly depending on the angle and direction. Now, keeping the structure in mind, let's divide up our petal guidelines. Start with the larger shapes: rounded petals, pointed tips, and overlapping petals. Next, place the broad leaves behind the cluster of flowers. Then, add soft, natural curves to the tips of the petals. You can lightly erase your initial sketch lines and refine the details. Fill in the remaining small overlapping petals and refine the outer contours, adding a bit of thickness to the edges. And that completes our sketch. Now let's move on to painting. Apply a wet-on-wet technique by moistening the flower cluster first. Then apply a soft wash of yellow ochre mixed with black to the shadow areas. Blend it smoothly so it bleeds naturally, leaving the brightest highlights unpainted. If color bleeds into your highlights, simply lift it off with a clean, damp brush. Once the paper is completely dry, let's layer in our midtones. Use a higher ratio of yellow ochre for lighter areas and add more black for the deeper shadows to build up depth. Define the shadow edges clearly and blend them out softly with clean water. At this stage, avoid separating every single petal. Instead, treat the dark areas as unified values to establish form. Now for the leaf base wash. Mix sap green with a touch of black, starting from the lighter areas and deepening with more black towards the shadows. Blending a hint of burnt sienna onto the leaf tips creates a lovely natural color transition. It's time for detailing and finishing touches. Build up darker tones in the shadows to add depth and define the forms crisp and clear. For the center indentations of the petals, darken the upper shaded areas and blend downward with water. Use a fine brush to paint the sepals. Deepen the dark gaps between the blooms and crisp up the overlapping petal edges. Add soft shadows between petals to subtly separate them. Connect the lighter area smoothly using midtones mixed with a bit more yellow ochre. Repeat the process of applying pigment and softening it with water. It's very convenient to work with two brushes, one for paint and one for water. Once the flowers have dimension, cast soft shadows onto the leaves beneath them. Finally, paint the delicate leaf veins to complete your watercolor piece. How did you enjoy painting these Arabian jasmine buds today? I hope this video was helpful for your watercolor practice. I'll see you in the next tutorial. Thank you!